Alright, you guys, what's good? Welcome to the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like this video. We're going to talk about Trump's UN speech, and like I said, it was definitely something. He gave a fiery speech at the UN General Assembly. Everyone's talking about it. I'm going to be breaking down what he actually said, what was good, what was bad, what was maybe exaggerated. But the main thing is he slammed the UN, and it was like walking into somebody's house that they own and saying, yeah, I don't like this part of the house. I don't like this color of the wall. I don't like this paint. I don't like how you have the couch set up. Like he blasted them. And whether you liked it or not, that was his objective. He pushed back a lot on national sovereignty. He called mass immigration a threat to Western culture. He trashed green energy and climate incentives as a scam, which, he promised to use tariffs to push Russia towards ending the Ukraine war. He rejected moves, this is a big one. He rejected moves recognizing a Palestinian state, claiming that it would reward Hamas, which, there's some basis in that. But he was crystal clear though. He laid out his ideas, his ideals, his motivation for doing what he does. He pretty much laid out his objective on what he wants to do. And a lot of the stuff that he said about the UN, he framed it as ineffective and corrupt. And he bigged himself up, standing up for national sovereignty and all that stuff. As I said, he claimed immigration as a threat to Western heritage and urged countries to shut down their borders, which you can claim may or may not work, but that can also lead to a lot of unrest. He slammed green energy and basically said that it's a scam hurting economies. He said that he would end the Russia and Ukraine war through tariffs and pressure, and warned Europe to cut energy ties with Moscow. That's a big one. That's something that I don't really think anybody's done. Now, is what he said right about the UN? Yes. The UN is inefficient, and it does have a lot of corruption issues, and a lot of countries have complained about that for years. So he does have a leg to stand on there. Mass migration has created a real political pressure in Europe. So even though he framed it as extreme as he did, there is some truth into that. He talked about how he, ended, 7 wars and all these conflicts and stuff. And the reality is, if we're being honest, they weren't necessarily wars. It was more just like local conflicts. Now, he did broker peace, and he got a lot of the leaders in those countries to sit down and negotiate. So that is a win. But him claiming he ended 7 wars, that's something that his staff probably said, hey, let's go with that, But I mean, the bottom line, that whole speech was Trump, pure and pure. And if there was any doubt about his lack of aggression or his, maybe he's softening up or whatever, maybe he'll be different this time. Nope, he was same old Trump. Anti-globalist, heavy on the slogans. It made a lot of headlines, and it's going to make a lot of headlines. But the main thing is whether or not his words become policy. And that's what's going to really, that's when we're going to find out if what he's saying is going to broker the peace that he wants and broker the type of change that he wants to see around the world. So if I was to give a grade on this, I would say maybe 6 out of 10. Rhetoric, his ego, it was perfect too, because the teleprompter wasn't working, so he didn't have to read from a script. He kind of just talked from the heart, and that's when Trump is at his best, to be honest with you. So I would give his speech about a 6.5 out of 10. But I mean, let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe, and let's keep it going, man. Let's build a movement.